No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, Fly Fishing Guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Wednesday to you here at Bronco Nation News Live on the social media channels of BroncoNationNews.com. We're also on the social media channels today of KTIK 95.3 The Ticket, because that's because we got John Mallory, Johnny Ballgame, checking in today for his weekly Wednesday appearance. Johnny, late night, early morning. I left the arena about 2 a.m. last night. Got a story posted for folks to read at BroncoNationNews.com. Leon Rice saying they frustrated us, no doubt, but we also frustrated ourselves. Kind of summed it up. It was a frustrating night last night at Extra Mile Arena.
Yeah, I got home about, 12:30 or so. Woke up at like 7. So, yeah, this is feeling like in the days. Went to bed thinking about this game, right? Woke up knowing, okay, back to this game because I'm coming on BNN Live and still trying to put it together. I was really impressed with Nevada last night. The way they were able to come in there, shoot well, force turnovers, get points off of those turnovers forced, and kind of keep Boise State at an arm's length, BJ. Boise State's obviously a really good team. They're going to go to the tournament. Nevada's going to go to the tournament, but Nevada was able to get that edge. And sometimes if you give a good team that edge, they're not going to give it back. Boise State, I thought, played well, BJ. They'd go on those runs, and then Nevada would just kind of come up with a run to answer. It was one of those frustrating games for the fans. 2 good teams playing, but overall, Nevada, a good shooting team, comes in there and shoots well. I mean, historically well in some cases, BJ, for the program. They got out of there with the win, and here we go. Look at the standings. It's one big cluster.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this game. We are going to talk about the craziness of the Mountain West standings after UNLV beats San Diego State last night. We're looking at a real possible likely scenario, Johnny, where Boise State could play San Diego State 2 games in a row. They could meet in the 4-5 game of the first round next week. We'll get into that. We'll look ahead to that game on Friday. And then I also do want to talk a little spring football as well. We have Spencer Danielson, Dirk Cutter, some of the other coaches meeting with the media tomorrow to kind of preview spring practice, which starts on Monday. So a lot to get to, and appreciate all of you for checking us out here at BroncoNationNews.com. Again, RowPaint.com, our title sponsor. Johnny's in the Row Paint studios there of KTIK, ROEPaint.com. Check them out, all your painting needs, and we appreciate our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. But Johnny, I think Perry kind of summed it up pretty well here. He just says, got to give Nevada credit. Unfortunately, I missed his comment here, but you look at what they did, man. I thought they played almost the perfect game. They made threes. They played stifling defense. They kept Boise State at arm's length, for most of the game. They only had 8 turnovers. They turned Boise State over 14 times. The only stat that goes in Boise State's favor is the rebounding margin. And Leon even said after the game that was kind of a weird stat just because, the way that it was working with the offensive rebounds and stuff. But for the most part, Nevada dominated the stat sheet. You got to give Hunter McIntosh credit, 6 for 6 from 3-point range. Nevada came in, played nearly the perfect game, did everything they could do, frustrated Boise State. And as I wrote in my story, at 1:30 in the morning when they're cleaning up the arena, Johnny, it was supposed to be this dream, scenario for senior night, and it turned into kind of a nightmare. Just just didn't go the way that nobody had planned, and they couldn't even get Max his moment at the end of the game. They couldn't get Mo Silla or Sam Winter even in the game because of that, and so nothing went according to plan last night, and just a frustrating, difficult night all around. But Nevada does deserve a lot of credit, and I think a lot of fans, Johnny, on the post-game show were, the negative Nancy's always waiting for the loss to jump back in and rip on the team. Where I don't think some people realize, Nevada has 25 wins, and Nevada is got a chance to win this league. I mean, that was not some horrible loss, and Nevada's up to 32 in the net, so it's almost about to be a quad 1 loss. Nevada's a pretty good team. Boise State certainly didn't play well, but I think Nevada does deserve some credit. They came in last night and played great.
Nevada's dangerous too because McIntosh is coming back from an injury. Leon talked about it last night post-game, BJ. This is an added value to Nevada moving forward, right? They haven't been as healthy as they wanted to be, so they're peaking at the right time. This just adds to the Mountain West. I think I saw a Rothstein tweet, BJ. Now he's saying, 7 teams from the Mountain West going dancing because UNLV, that win last night in San Diego State continues its troubles, or I guess finishes a very troubling season for them, being able to play good teams on the road in this league. I'm sure you'll bring that up at some point, BJ. But yeah, Nevada, that team can beat a lot of teams, especially if they shoot well. I think Nevada could win an NCAA tournament game. I think Nevada probably will be favored in an NCAA tournament game. I could see them on the 6, the 7, or the 8 line, BJ. I think a couple of Mountain West teams are going to be there. Why couldn't it be Nevada? Yeah, this is one of those losses you wish you played a little bit better, BJ. You hate the 41% from the field, especially when, Nevada shoots, 47%. You throw in, you said 14 turnovers. Nevada turned that into 21 points. So they took advantage of Boise State's mistakes. If you're going to make mistakes against a good team, you're going to lose. But yeah, to the party. Yeah, that must have been kind of a somber situation in Extra Mile Arena. Everybody cleaning up. They're taking the trash out, and it's not after a party.
No.
Kind of after a loss.
Yeah, it was like I said, nothing really went right for them, and it just was a night to forget. Unfortunately, a late crowd stayed late. Some of them started heading for the exits with 7 minutes and 22 seconds left, and Boise State down by 10. And just 9 missed free throws was part of it. Missing 17 of their 23 3-point shots. You mentioned the 21 points off turnovers. Boise State, Johnny, 0 fast break points. Didn't get a single a single dunk in transition or a layup or anything, like that. So,
Nevada had 8. And Nevada had 8 fast break points. So there's another point differential there. It just didn't add up for Boise State. And, maybe those two teams will meet again. And if they do, Boise State better be ready. And I think they will be, but that'll be a battle.
The Mountain West is stacked. By the way, John Rothstein, I think, was saying 7 if UNLV wins the Mountain West tournament. I don't think they have a chance to get an at-large. They've got 3 quad 4 losses, but I'll tell you what, I mean, if they win the league, if they get first place in this league, in the hardest league, in the Mountain West, a 6-bid league, the regular season champion wouldn't be an at-large pick. I mean, that sounds kind of crazy to me. Wouldn't they have to be in consideration?
Yeah, if they win the league. Yeah,
which is certainly possible. If they go to Reno and win and Utah State loses on one of these next 2 games, then UNLV could still win the league.
And Utah State has what? New Mexico coming to Logan. That'll be tough for them, man, especially with New Mexico's back against the wall the way it is in this league. I kind of felt that with Nevada a little bit too, by the way, back to last night's game. Sometimes tough, well-coached, veteran teams, BJ, they can clear the mechanism, and they can almost use all of those, I don't know, what you would think would be negatives, hostile environments, senior night, sayonara, Max, we're going to miss you. And, whoa. Hey, we're going to come here and play really well. And they did last night. Sometimes good teams, BJ, they'll do that on the road. We've seen Boise State do what Nevada did last night. So obviously deserve a lot of credit. And on the neutral site, BJ, I think a lot of teams' fans are going to want to come to the Mountain West tournament too this year because they all think they got a legitimate shot. They like watching their teams play, and they don't want the season to end. I mean, if you think about it, BJ, you're just down to a couple of weeks left in the season. That's it. It goes by so quick.
Yeah. And speaking of Las Vegas, Johnny M, we will be broadcasting the show a week from today. You guys, us, a week from today, we will be broadcasting live from Circa Resort and Casino Stadium Swim. You guys are going to be in the sports book. We're going to be all around Circa. Friday, we'll be out at the pool, so hopefully folks will RSVP. Johnny, we're up to like 120 RSVPs for the pool party. The number keeps growing. It's going to be
of the year.
Yes. You going to do the show shirtless? Did we ever decide that?
No, we're not doing anything shirtless, BJ. Come on, man. We're there to have a nice, fun party, watch some hoops. Think of all the other games going on to that screen on this picture right here, you guys. Julio Rodriguez looks like him at the bottom. Maybe not. I don't know who those guys are. But there'll be nothing but college basketball games on that big screen. Think about that, BJ. You could argue championship week might be as good as, some of the opening March Madness stuff because you have more games, more teams playing. I love it.
So email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. We're going to be out there 10 to 4. It says 10 to 5. It's going to be 10 to 4 Pacific time. Want to give you a chance to get over there and get ready for the semifinals. And again, email me, rains@bronconationnews.com. We will get you free cover charge into the stadium swim pool over there. It's like a $40 cover charge on a Friday of conference tournament week. I mean, that place is going to be popping. We got a private pool. It's going to be a lot of fun. And hard to believe, Johnny, like 6 days we'll be in Las Vegas. It is it's pretty crazy. I'm looking forward to it. But the plus minus, I know in basketball, Johnny, the plus minus isn't like a huge deal. It just depends who's out there for a run. But I thought it was interesting. Last night you had Roddy Anderson minus 11, Jace Whiting plus 8. Boise State loses by 10. The only player on the team with a positive plus minus was Jace Whiting, plus 8 in 9:49 minutes of action. You had Omar minus 8, Tyson minus 9, Roddy minus 11, Chibuzo minus 10, Max minus 8, Cam minus 8, even Andrew Meadow is minus 4. And then you look at Jace Whiting plus 8.
I didn't notice that, man. I did not notice that. And maybe is that one of those plus minus stats that mean something or one of those plus minus stats that don't? That's also what you have to decipher.
Also, 2 assists, no turnovers in 9 minutes. Roddy Anderson had 2 assists, 2 turnovers. 5 points for Roddy. Jace had 3 points. Again, I don't know how they do all the minutes and stuff, and Roddy has played a lot better of late. But last night, Jace Whiting's got one of the best 3-point shots on the team. You needed offense. I don't know. Maybe Jace Whiting should have got a little more run last night based on how it was going.
I think when Jace Whiting does get the run, I don't know if it always has to be as the one. I like sometimes where they play them both. Jace Whiting, his 3-point shot, BJ, is a weapon. It's been a weapon all year, and it's been a limited weapon. I want to see Jace be more aggressive in shooting some of those threes. But yeah, I agree. Roddy is playing better, and I think Roddy is going to pop, and he's going to be one of the most exciting, entertaining, and athletic guards in this league, and he'll average double digits in this league probably next year, BJ. But there are certain games and certain moments where you're like, Roddy, or you'll see even the coaches, BJ, slow down. I'm a hyperactive guy, ADHD. I know what that means, right? When the person says, hey, slow down. JP does it to me all the damn time in this row paint studio, right? Roddy sometimes just needs to slow down. I think he will. But yeah, and a moment like that last night, maybe that's something that Leon thinks about in the middle of the night. Should we have given Whiting more run there at the one than Roddy? Not for the rest of the season, just for maybe that half or just that game. I think those are the things that basketball coaches keep themselves up constantly with. And that is an interesting stat that Jace Whiting was +8 when he was in there. And as good as Roddy's been, Jace has been too. I think Jace has had a really nice year. And 9 minutes, I expect Jace to play more than that, to be honest. So I'm kind of with you on that.
I want to spin this forward to Friday's game, to the Mountain West standings, to the potential bracket, and then I do want to talk a little football as well. But first, I do want to tell folks about Cutwater Spirits. More than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails, perfect for your next game day tailgate. I'm sure there were plenty being drunk in the second half last night as Boise State was struggling. Cutwater Spirits, you can get like 2 for $7 at your local gas station. Check them out. Cutwater Spirits, our studio sponsor at Bronco Nation News. I mentioned our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. I got to tell you, Johnny, when Matt Bauscher came out to my house yesterday looking at it to possibly put it on the market, he loved the garage and he loved the back patio. He commented rowpaint.com, the concrete coatings, and how that helps add to the value of the home. So check them out, roepaint.com, the best in the business, Andy Rowe and Company, and appreciate his support of Bronco Nation News. Tyson Degenhart on the NIL deal with Idaho Central Credit Union. The best in the business, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner. The eBranch mobile online banking is just so easy to use right from your phone, transfer money. I've been into an ICCU like 3 times in my entire life because you can just do everything from your phone and your computer. So check them out, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Ridley's Family Markets, 13 locations in the state of Idaho. I think it's up to 14 now, actually. They're doing a great job. The Cuno location, I know Johnny frequents often, so appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. If you download the Shop Ridley's app, you can get up to 40% off on the checkout line. They have the Skip app. You can do all your shopping on your phone and not have to wait in line. So easy to use. Great supporters of BNN, and we appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. Bauscher Real Estate, as I said, Matt does this for everybody. He comes out and looks at the home yourself. Like, he's got a whole team under him, but he takes care of you. Matt Bauscher, BauscherRealEstate.com. I was super impressed yesterday with the service from Matt, and he knows what he's talking about. And it was just, I knew he was good, Johnny, but seeing him, talking to him in person on business of a home, I was super impressed with Matt Bauscher, and you will not be disappointed if you go with Matt and his team next time you're looking to buy or sell a home. So we're not even sure if we're going to sell. We're thinking about it, but Matt did a tremendous job, and I'm super appreciative of him and his support of Bronco Nation News. And Johnny, he had a special guest sitting courtside by him last night. Malachi Nelson sitting courtside. Wish they would have put him on the screen or something to pump up the crowd. I don't think they do a great job of that at the home games, highlighting the special alumni and folks in attendance, the dignitaries. Yeah. But
like during a timeout when they're losing or something, they should try to find Spencer Danielson. We found him last night. Remember when he was pumping us up, walking around there? But yeah, that would have been fun. And I agree. That was cool to see Malachi. I mean, I don't know if I had seen him publicly before that. Tall, strapping young man. And Lots to talk about with him moving forward, you'd think, BJ. But yeah, that was cool that Boucher, let him experience life in the Boucher lane.
That was pretty fun. Yeah, we'll get to Malachi Nelson and the football talk here in a minute. I'm trying to see. They have I saw somebody and I can't find it. If the tournament started today with the Mountain West, what the bracket would look like. But Johnny, if we put the standings at least up here on the screen, chaos in the Mountain West, Johnny, because San Diego State, as you said, struggling on the road. They went 0-7 on the road against the top Mountain West teams. So Utah State is now in sole possession of first place. And let's not forget, Johnny, if it had not been for that 5-point play down in Las Vegas, UNLV and Utah State, UNLV would be the one in sole possession of first place right now. But Utah State is at San Jose State tonight. They almost lost at Fresno. We'll see if San Jose State's guards can give them a game tonight. And then on Saturday, Utah State is home to New Mexico. So you would think Utah State has the inside track to the 1 seed here. Boise State, if you're just playing out the scenarios, Johnny, losing in San Diego State is certainly possible. That would drop Boise State into the 4-5 game. And the way it looks right now, you could have a real scenario, Johnny, and it's looking likely if you go based on the favorites the rest of the way that Boise State, San Diego State will meet in the 4-5 game. So they would play in back-to-back games, which did happen 4 or 5 years ago, I believe, or maybe it was further back than that. I know that's happened where they finished the regular season and then played in the first round. But 2:30 in the afternoon Pacific time. The game time's a little better, but I'm not sure San Diego State in the quarterfinals is the way you want to go. I guess the positive is that would be a quad 1 game if you were to lose. But just your take on the standings and how the bracket's starting to shape out here.
I don't know, BJ, neutral floor. Would you rather play San Diego State or Nevada?
I would probably say Nevada. I think I don't know. It's Hunter McIntosh.
San Diego State or UNLV? Not neutral floor, but
probably San Diego State.
I agree, man. I think if we did a draft of teams Boise State wouldn't want to play, I think San Diego State's one of the last picks, right? I mean, you just don't want, for me, that brand first game, the experience and whatnot. Like, dang, man, that's a heavyweight title fight in the first round. And here's the thing, BJ. If it's not Boise State, San Diego State, it will be another matchup of that magnitude, right? There's going to be that one game in the quarterfinals where it's like they call it in the World Cup when the World Cup comes out. What's the group of death, right? What's the group of death going to be? That there's going to be the game of death, right? Two teams that feel very comfortable about their tournament resume, and they're going to get bounced in the first round of their conference tournament. And then that thought just creeps in, what if? No, right? What if there's an abundance this year of bids stolen? Sometimes there's a few, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's a lot, right? Where you have all these weird teams winning conference tournaments and stealing bids. And then all of a sudden, the Mountain West becomes a 5-bid league. Maybe 4-bid. I don't think that's the case, but right. And then you're on the outside looking in. You just don't want to be in that spot. And it's just as bad for San Diego State as it is Boise State. I don't think San Diego State wants to tussle with Boise State in that matchup either. So that would be, I'll tell you this though, for non-partial or non-fans, basketball fans, you're going to give me that on quarterfinal, Wednesday, BJ, or Thursday? Quarterfinal Thursday?
Quarterfinal Thursday, yep.
That's Thursday? Wow, what again, heavyweight title fight that would feel like, but that's going to be such a sweet tournament. But I don't want San Diego State if I'm Boise State. I don't know about the comments.
I don't think you want UNLV, though, either. I think you'd be okay playing Colorado. The only nice thing is the game time, and I know it screws up your show, and we'll figure out what you guys are going to do, but the 2:30 in Vegas is much better than 9 p.m. in Vegas for that. I mean, for that first day, at least in my opinion. Some fans will be at work and stuff. Maybe they'd rather have the night game if you're not going to the tournament. But
for the team, it's way better to play earlier.
And then you get essentially 24 hours. You don't play till 6 p.m. You also get the first semifinal. And I don't know about you, Johnny, but like Utah State, they may win this league. Like, I don't want to say they don't scare me, but I think Boise State can beat them. Like, they should have beat them at home. The game at Utah State, it took Fosloff scoring 25 points or whatever. He had the game of his life. I think on a neutral floor, after already losing to Utah State twice, like, I think Boise State could beat Utah State on a neutral floor. And so if that was your semifinal matchup, if you got by San Diego State, like, I don't think that's
those two fan bases down there with the hatred. Max Rice, one more chance against that fan base.
We're probably gonna look up, and as bad as San Diego State has been, they're gonna beat Boise State, beat Utah State, be in the finals, and win it again. I mean, they probably
you know what, right? They'll probably just win the conference tournament.
If you want the odds at Circa Resort and Casino when we get down there on Tuesday, Johnny, to win the conference tournament, if San Diego State's in the 4-5 game, they're probably gonna have pretty good payback maybe to win that league. I don't know.
What value? 7-1, 8-1, 6-1, 5-1.
Probably in the 450 range, maybe plus 450.
Yeah, plus 450. $100 bet will give you 450 back.
Sure, the thing's going to be so wide open this year. And we mentioned the 7-bid league, Johnny. Is there any scenario if UNLV wins the league or wins the Mountain West tournament and gets the automatic bid? I mean, does somebody just get bumped, or is there some way you get 7?
BJ, pull the standings back up here, because I think there also is the conversation of UNLV versus whatever other team. Like, if you're trying to get 7 now, what if Colorado State wins the conference tournament? I mean, UNLV's resume, what is it? It's the 10 losses. The net isn't as good.
They have 3. Yeah, the computer numbers aren't great. And they also have 3 quad 4 losses, 3 horrible losses. They lost to, like, Southern. They lost by 32 to Air Force. They got some bad losses.
It's just, I mean, what if they end up like in sole position of 3rd place in the Mountain West, and they're not going, and then Colorado State, who say is 10-8, they get in. I mean, I know their numbers are probably better, but they would really, you could see them doing that. Like, if that's not the case, I think definitely there's going to be a team or two, BJ, where they have a very depressing selection Sunday.
No doubt. It is crazy. And I mean, Colorado State, Johnny, was ranked most of the season, and they're in 7th place right now.
I know, man.
They're 9-8, and a lot of people still think Colorado is like a safe tournament team at 21-9, but it is crazy. I've never seen the league like this. And Friday's game now, Johnny, at San Diego State. Again, Boise State could still win the league. Let's not forget about that, Johnny. Like, they need Utah State to lose a game, but if Utah State loses a game, one of these last 2, and if Boise State is able to win in Viejas Arena, like, they're still co-champions. Like, there's still a way. Like, tonight, all of a sudden tonight, Utah State could go lay an egg in San Jose. I don't expect it to happen. But if it does, like, all of a sudden you can win Friday and you're still league champion. So they could still finish anywhere from league champion to the 5 seed. They cannot be the number 1 seed, though, Johnny. I don't believe there's a scenario. I don't think they can finish higher than the number 3 seed. Maybe I'm wrong on that if crazy stuff happens. But
what if Utah State loses out? They lose 2 more. And Boise State, Utah State would be 12-6. They wouldn't be anywhere.
And it would be Nevada. Who wins, Nevada or UNLV? I guess, does that matter? If UNLV wins, then they would have the tiebreaker over Boise State because they beat them 1-0. If Nevada wins, they would have split, so they go to the next highest team, which is UNLV. I believe that Nevada would be the number 1 seed there. But I don't. That's a good question, though. It's crazy. A lot can still come out. So Perry is asking Johnny if Boise State has 11 losses, which would mean they lose Friday and then lose at some point in the tournament. Do they still get a bid? I think yes.
Yeah, look at a couple of those losses are to really good teams too. I mean, I'll just throw St. Mary's and Washington State. So that cuts.
They beat St. Mary's.
I'm sorry, the St. Mary's victory. The loss to Washington State. What was it? Clemson, BJ?
Butler, and Virginia Tech.
I think there's another team up there. Okay, I was thinking about as well. Those are all respectable losses, by the way. Look, Colorado State, I'll go back to them. They're looking like they could be 500 in a mid-major league, and they're dancing. Think about that. I'd never remembered a team even close to a 500 record in league that's feeling good about Selection Sunday. That's never happened, BJ. Usually in a mid-major league, you better be first, second, or third in the Mountain West to feel good about it, right? So that's interesting for me as well on that. But man, I don't know, BJ. I think it's going to be an interesting way to finish, man. But there's a lot of things that are going to happen. I don't know, man. That's honestly, this is going to be awesome, man.
Russ is asking about the attendance last night. It was listed at 11,242. I don't think it was quite that high, Johnny, but for those that came were pretty loud. We're into it in the second half. They just didn't have a lot to cheer about.
It would have got a lot louder too. They were ready. Those fans were ready to go. But it was one of those games. Yeah. It got loud pretty early. I think it was the Meadow 3, the first one or the second one. Yep. I thought it might have peaked at volume. That was pretty loud. There were some other instances too. It was a fun crowd, man. You would have never had a crowd like that on a Tuesday in the snow at 9 p.m. in just about any other year I've covered this team, BJ. That would have been a 7,000 crowd night.
No doubt. It wasn't. Final thing before we switch quickly to football. The game Friday, I believe Boise State's in. There's some people on the chat saying otherwise. I think now, Johnny, because you've secured that first round bye and you're probably in the 4-5, like your first Boise State's next 2 games are quad 1. Okay, quad one losses don't necessarily hurt you. Boise State would be 21-11, whatever it is on the schedule. Like that would be the record. If they lose the next 2 games, they'd be on a 3-game losing streak. I don't even think that would be Dayton. I think they would still be in the field with how good this league is and the respect they get. I guess if UNLV wins the tournament and there's a couple bid stealers in other tournaments, maybe they have to figure something out and go to Dayton. But I believe I am 100% convinced, Johnny, that Boise State is going to the NCAA tournament. Do you have any at all reservations about seeds or scenarios that would knock them out?
My only path, I guess, for that would be obviously you lose to San Diego State, so you've lost 3 in a row. You lose the first round of the conference tournament and say it's bad. Say you get smacked. You lose by 20. It's never close. Show in the conference tournament, the most anticipated conference tournament in this league quite some time, maybe ever, right? At least going back to the Jimmer years at BYU or something like that, BJ. And show, then all of a sudden, I'll paint you this scenario. Colorado State and UNLV end up playing in the Mountain West Conference Championship game. Isaiah Stevens goes bonkers. UNLV finally takes advantage of their home court. They've had the damn tournament for 15 years. They've never won it on their floor, and the pieces fall. And then Colorado State and UNLV's performance, they'd have 2 quad 1 wins to get there. And all of a sudden they're saying, we can't keep UNLV out, or we're not going to keep Colorado State out. And the Mountain West has all of a sudden played itself into a 5-bid league. So you have the 2 teams I just referenced. San Diego State's going, Utah State's going, Nevada or Boise State going to Dayton. I don't know. That would be the only path I could see where Boise State tragically does not get invited to this tournament.
I would say, maybe if they get like the 3 seed and then like the 6 seed is upset by Air Force or somebody in the first round and then you lose to one of them in the first game, maybe. But I don't think so. I think Boise State's done enough. I think Boise State is in. But do you think they win on Friday? How are you feeling about Friday's game?
Nobody wins there, but
senior night. They haven't lost all season. It's senior night. They just lost to UNLV. They're going to be ticked off. Probably not a ripe scenario for a win on Friday.
No, I think they'll probably lose that game, and that's why you wanted to win last one, or at least make sure you beat New Mexico. But I never count this team out. This team plays, if they play well, if they're hitting shots, if they're doing what they do well, they'll probably be in it. And who knows, maybe San Diego State's on this cold streak. You saw some of those shooting numbers last night. We've seen San Diego State in the past all of a sudden go into these crazy shooting slumps. I don't buy that. I don't think that's going to be the case on Friday. They'll be ready. I'm not giving the Broncos too much of a chance to win that one, BJ, but I'm never surprised when they do. Leon steals these games every now and again, and they could certainly use it. That would be terrific. No doubt about it. If they beat San Diego State, BJ, they're in very comfortably, and I still think they probably are.
And I do want to throw this out there. We are doing the pool party Friday, win or lose. We're not hurrying back to Boise, so some of you may leave, but if you're staying in Boise, even if Boise State loses on Thursday, come hang out with us. Meet Johnny, meet Prater, meet myself. We'll have prizes, giveaways. We're doing the pool party on Friday, win or lose on Thursday. I just wanted to throw that out there. Hey, let's talk football, but I want to tell you about the Lithia Ford of Boise. Robbie Robinson, avid viewer of BNN, sent me an email saying he purchased a vehicle at Lithia Ford the other day thanks to BNN and us hyping up Lithia Ford, and he's happy and loved the process. So thank you, Robbie, for supporting the sponsors. Go support Lithia Ford Boise. They got NIL deals with 5 players, and again, the Raines family couldn't be happier with RF-150, and you can do the same at LithiaFordBoise.com. Taco Bell's hiring. Treasure Valley freestanding Taco Bell stores. They'll give you half your wages the very next day after your shift, and they'll give you free food. So you get free food. You need quick cash. You don't have to wait 3 weeks for that first paycheck like most jobs. Check them out online, TacoBellWorks.com. And again, they give hundreds of thousands of dollars to Boise State student athlete scholarships for men's and women's basketball. The SON Management Group, Nick Alason family do a great job supporting the local community. We're thankful for their support. Johnny, we got to get out there and do another broadcast soon and get some of those breakfast quesadillas at Taco Bell. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Check them out as well. Theblueandorangestore.com. Travis Hawks and company, they do a tremendous job. Jerseys, shirts, caps, car flags, bumper stickers, you name it. Free shipping, any order over $40 online at theblueandorangestore.com, or you can go to the Boise Town Square Mall, the second floor right there next to Pro Image. And if you need a job, how about the trucking industry? Get out there towing that first load in no time thanks to Transportation Compliance Service. DOT, overweight permits, you name it, they can do it for you at Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out, transcompservice.com. And Johnny needed a couple extra cups this morning of Bronco Brew coffee with the late night, early morning Bronco Brew coffee. You're helping Boise State Athletics with every sip. They can come do tastings out at your office building. They can set you up on a regular subscription. It is roasted to order coffee. They don't make it until you put in the order, and within 24 hours in most cases in the Treasure Valley, you have fresh coffee at your doorstep. Support Boise State Athletics. Support Bronco Brew. Coffee. All right, we mentioned Malachi Nelson sitting courtside last night. We saw Spencer Danielson, who, by the way, I put this on Twitter, Johnny, but I think Spencer Danielson's been to more football games this season than Brian Harsin or Andy Avalos combined in their careers at Boise State. He's been at almost every game. He came by himself last night. He's just walking around with no friends, looking for something to do, just wants to watch the game. I mean, he was just literally by himself. And the funny thing is, Johnny, like some people recognize him, but I mean, he can still pretty much walk around the stadium, and not everybody knows who he is yet, I think. But he was there, and tomorrow, 11 a.m., I believe it is, we're doing a press conference. We'll have all that video. I'm sure you guys will have all that interviews and audio and stuff on tomorrow's Idaho Sports Talk. But Dirk Cutter, Spencer Danielson, some of the other coaches, the pre-spring practice press conference. What do you want to hear tomorrow? What's on your agenda for the press conferences tomorrow?
I think most people just kind of want to hear the why for Dirk Cutter, and what really forced him to say, yeah, okay, like, and make that type of commitment. I can't wait to hear what he's going to say. And, Spencer Danielson at the podium, he'll be fired up. They'll be excited. I mean, there's so many layers to this season and this off season. And I always like meeting some of the new coaches, BJ. I'm not sure how they're going to do the assistant coaching media ability. I'm sure Coach Shenander going to be talking as well, I would imagine, coordinators.
Yes.
As so
almost all the coaches, yes.
Hear from Shenander kind of what his game plan for the spring will be, maybe as opposed to what Spencer would have done, or new wrinkles he's going to do to spring ball. And it's football. And it's March, and people are really fired up about this team for obvious reasons. They're fired up about college football and the new playoff. So any Boise State football content, BJ, I think it's a good thing right now this time of year. I hate that it's still kind of snowing out. Let's get spring in spring football. That'll be nice.
Did you see their video yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before. The football team does their 6 a.m. workouts, and they were in the indoor, and they kind of decided for the last part of the workout, let's go outside. And they went out on the blue in a blizzard with no shirt. Some of them with no shirts on, but they had shorts on, and they were out there in sub-freezing temperatures in the snow working out there. Those guys are a lot tougher and crazier than we are.
Yeah, they are, man. And those workouts, like, gosh, I mean, when you hear guys like when they give it up, that's one of the things I have never heard an ex-Boise State football player tell me, like, God, what do you miss? It's the locker room. It's the camaraderie. And maybe that comes later, but it's never 5 a.m., man, every day showing up to the Blaymire, 5 a.m. and working my butt off. I mean, they do that every day. That's part of that grind, BJ. And I'm sure when you finally give football up, yeah, you still work out a lot, but I don't know if it's the rigors of what they put those kids through. It's a tough workout, and they get them ready to play. And every school in the country, as you know, does kind of the 5 a.m. It feels like the morning workouts, and that's where a lot of the blood is drawn, BJ. And
by the time I talk to you, Johnny, on next Wednesday, we'll be in Vegas. Boise State will have already had a spring practice. We will have already seen them. So the next time we talk, at least on this show, they will have already had a practice. I know Malachi Nelson's going to be the obvious big storyline. We're going to be watching him 98% of the first practice on Monday. What's next for you, though? Where else, if there are any other storylines or any other things in that first practice on Monday that you want to see that's not involving Malachi Nelson, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm a big Latrell Caples guy, man. I didn't realize how much he would be missed last year. We find out like the first day of camp. I remember we're out there. It's sunny. We're excited. It's August, BJ. We're on the DeChevreau and Trell's not out there. And then they come out and they say, hey, Caples is out for the year. And we're kind of like, ooh, okay. They still have A, B, C, and D. They can weather this storm. And I think that caught up to him. I didn't realize how important those 50-plus catches were that Latrell Caples had 2 years ago, mainly in a Dirk Cutter offense. That's the reunion I'm excited to see. I don't know if you saw Latrell. He tweeted something along the lines of what, like the GOAT is back, or the old professor. I don't remember how he framed it when Dirk came back. You could tell Latrell Caples was like, okay, I'm getting my targets. This is going to be beautiful. But he hasn't played in so long, BJ. And as far as we know, Latrell Caples is full go in spring ball, correct?
Believe so.
Yeah, I want to see him.
We'll find out on Thursday from Spencer who's good and who's not.
Veteran receiver. It was 2 years ago. I think they're going to need some. I don't know. They need an experienced receiver. Obviously, BJ. You take Latrell out of there, and I mean Prince had a few, Bolt caught a few, but that's my guy. I want to see Latrell Caples.
Hey, May 31st, the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament, third annual, benefiting the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, a couple other charities as well. If you played last year and you want to play again, send me an email. You get first dibs on your spot. And if you are wanting to sponsor a hole sponsorship, corporate sponsorships, that's another way to reserve your foursome. We are expecting this to sell out. 32 foursomes in the morning that tees off at 8:30. 32 foursomes in the afternoon, tees off at 1:30, 64 foursomes. We've gone from 30 to 50 in the first 2 years, and I think we can get to 64 pretty easily. So if you want in, save the date. We'll let you know when the registration goes on sale here in a couple of weeks, but those that played last year do get first dibs to return. Send me an email, rains@bronconationnews.com. And again, if you're interested in a whole sponsorship, you can email me there as well. Johnny, appreciate your time as always. Perry mentioned something about looking forward to the softball broadcast tomorrow. Weather is not cooperating. Nothing's been officially announced by Boise State, but just stay tuned on that. Weather, it's not exactly softball weather tomorrow, so we'll see what's going to happen there. But just stay tuned for more information. Unfortunately, the snow has not exactly made the field in great condition for a game tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Johnny, we'll be listening 3 to 6 today. Johnny, Prater, Bob, JP, the whole crew, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK.com, KTIK app, all the different ways you can listen, of course, live, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. And again, a week from today, we'll be doing live shows of BNN and KTIK from the Sportsbook at Circa Resort. How are you going to focus for a 3-hour show, man?
Well, they're just fun. It's not my first rodeo, BJ.
You done a live 3-hour show from a sports book? the largest sports book in the world.
Okay, maybe I haven't done one from actually inside.
Lock it in though. You did the football media days one with me there. We were up on the balcony, kind of by the burger bar there, overlooking the thing. So gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've done some shows like that. Not really at a sports book, but some big owls, those places with the big screens and stuff. So yeah, but fun, man. BJ, it's hard to believe though. The next time I do my hit with you, it will be in Las Vegas, man.
Yep. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. More details to come on some of the things we got planned for down there. But again, listen today, 3 o'clock with Johnny and Prater. Listen 9 a.m. tomorrow for Bronco Nation News Live. A lot of stuff coming. And, of course, we'll be live from San Diego with the pregame and postgame shows on Friday night for the final regular season game of the year. Enjoy that. Root for San Jose State tonight. San Jose State, Utah State, if you want to keep hopes alive of a Mountain West title. So appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Go subscribe if you can. Tell your friends. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live at bronconationnews.com.